I've taught a variety of students through my years as a teacher, and a variety of age levels as well. As an administrator, I know that we had students that were on scholarship, but the teachers never knew that. I've taught students who've had an extremely high IQ, students who have been on the Asperger's spectrum, and I've taught students who've had learning difficulties, dyslexia, dysgraphia, ADHD. And I've taught students who do not have English as a first language. So a good variety of students. And they've all benefited from the Carden method because it is an individualized approach to learning. I'm able to reach the child where he is and bring him up to where I want him to be. I'm still in touch with many of my former students. In fact, I think the greatest gift a teacher can receive is to have a former student come back and say, I learned so much from you that I want to be a teacher as well. So I have former students that I'm in touch with who have gone on to be teachers, Carden teachers. And I have former students that are working in law, that are missionaries, former students that are working in the business field and in the arts. I am a Carden specialist, and I am involved in teaching teachers to teach the Carden method and helping develop directors so that they can be the best that they can be. I think what I love most about teaching the Carden method is that I'm still teaching Carden even though I'm teaching adults. I get the opportunity to provide teachers with an insight into the curriculum that they might not have seen before. Because Ms. Carden says that each year a teacher should perfect some aspect of her teaching abilities. And by providing these teaching demonstrations and the teaching classes via the internet, we have much more flexibility in the ability to meet with the teachers instead of having to physically go to a place. We can meet via the internet. And I love the Carden method, and being able to teach Carden is an absolute privilege. The advantage of presenting the courses via webinar is that we can have people from all over the world attending the same class. Whether they're from China or from Hawaii, from the east coast of the United States, or from Alaska. We've had students meet together, and we can talk about the things that are the same in our schools and talk about the little bit of differences, because although each Carden school is individually owned and operated and we follow the Carden method, there are some individualities with respect to the schools, and the opportunity for teachers of all over the world to be able to come together and share their teaching experiences is very exciting. One of the greatest advantages of the Carden method is the individualized approach to learning. Typically in a classroom, the teacher will divide her students into small groups, and we group those students according to their needs. And so someone who needs a little bit of extra time to process a question can be at the teaching table, spending time with the teacher. We will all get to the answer, just at a little bit different pace. So my fast learners are in one group, and the children who need the extra time are in another group. And that's such an advantage, especially for a student who has learning difficulties, whether it be attention problems or language difficulties. The teacher can give the individualized attention to the child that is necessary. We're seated at a table, and that gives us immediate contact with the children. We have eye contact with the children, and the lessons go on at the table so that the child really does get taught during the lesson, and he's involved in the learning. The Carden teacher teaches from a seated position, which involves the teacher in the lesson. We're involved in the lesson together. There's great conversation that goes on at the table. And through that conversation, the teacher can determine whether the children are really comprehending the lesson and can tailor the needs to the children that are at the table. We know that all great teachers sit while they've instructed their students, and it provides a much more intimate atmosphere at the table.